So you got big, thick grass?
I'm sorry, I'm over 3 days, it's already like it's.
Oh, boy.
It's green as it plays.
That works.
We ready, Heather?
Yes.
Okay, I'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. This is a public hearing concerning the public transportation program grant. And so Norma Taylor's with us.
Yes,
Norma, I'll let you speak.
okay. I'll get up here and I do have my Title VI public involvement forms, if anybody in the public wants to fill one out.
Get some hands going up.
All right. I didn't bring my box tonight, but, I've got an envelope. This public hearing is seeking public input on, FY 2022 grants or recurring community transportation program grants. One is the 5311 administrative in the amount of $192,747. And the other one is the 5310 elderly and disabled program grant in the amount of $87,500. The 5311 covers the director's, part of the director's salary, the assistant director, office supplies, drug and alcohol test, uniforms, marketing, telephone, fax, internet, and training. The 5310 elderly and disabled helps support transportation for the elderly and people with disabilities here in Jackson County.
Okay.
Um,
Any questions from the board concerning this? Well, we don't have anybody signed up to speak on our Zoom as well either.
okay.
So I guess.
The only questions we have for her probably would be about this grant.
Correct, but
But I would like to ask her a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
If she's through with that or whatever.
all right, let's just do this. We'll have a motion then to close out this public hearing.
So
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Talk to us about your workload and all that.
Oh, well, right now, we have started our, deviated fixed route
I heard that.
We always stop the, is our audio still on?
It is on now. I just turned it on.
Can you shut it off just for a second real
Yeah.
quick?
Thank you.
Yeah, there you go.
Looking back, my ball, it reflects not straight back.
Thank you, though, Ron. That was.
Okay, we ready now?
Yes.
Okay, I'll go ahead and call the meeting to order, Jackson County Board of Commissioners, today, November the 3rd, 2020, Election Day. I hope everyone has voted. If you've not, you've got just a short amount of time to get it done. But encourage everybody to get out to the polls and thank all the folks that have voted and thank all those who are working the election. And I know we are like everybody else in this nation. We're anxious to see this election come to an end. Hopefully we can see some results and move on and support whomever is elected all the way from the White House down to the courthouse. First item of business is the approval of the agenda. We do need just make one modification, or at least I have one suggested modification. That would be to remove item 1, the commissioners' meeting schedule. That is something that we believe we can take care of at our work session. And it gives us a little bit more time to get some more information. And then we'll talk about that at our work session coming up next week. Other than that, are there any other suggested changes to the agenda for tonight? All right, if not, do I have a motion that we approve the agenda as amended?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, any question or discussion? Not all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Next is the approval of the minutes. You've got minutes from our public hearing concerning the schedule of values for 2021. That was on October the 6th, as well as the public hearing minutes from the UDO amendments, October the 6th, and then our regular meeting minutes also on October the 6th. After having an opportunity to review those as distributed by the clerk prior to today's meeting. What is the pleasure of the board concerning their approval?
I mean, move we accept all 3.
All right, I have a motion to accept all 3 as presented. Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Nay, the ayes have it. Next is the administrative report. I don't have anything else to add today. We'll start with the commissioners. Commissioner Mao, I'll let you go first tonight.
Yeah, just an update from TDA. Not an all-time record again, but September revenues on room occupancy were 9.3% above last year. So
Wow.
keep doing well.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
Commissioner Woody?
Yes, I wanted to commend Lisa Lovedahl and her staff at the Board of Elections. I know I voted early and many people in our community did, and I just want to commend them for the hard work that they obviously did in planning for people to be safe, for people to feel that their vote was secure, and encouraging at each of the different centers. And I went to 7 of the different centers today and was so gratified to see how smoothly things were going, how respectful I spoke to people from all the different parties, and also poll workers, not too many poll workers because they were inside, but the poll watchers outside, and just got to talk, and everyone was so gratified to see how smoothly things were going. So kudos to the election board, Lisa Lovedahl, and her staff.
Commissioner Deeds?
And on that line, I spoke to the sheriff today, and he was talking about how smooth everything is running. What he said about his preparation and what they've done is working with intelligence from all over the state about, and that, he didn't expect it to come, he said they well prepared, so that makes you feel good. Ms. Woody and I went up to Cashier's this past week. And, we went by the permit board and all up there. And they act like tickled to death that we, two commissioners come by. And, place looks real good. I'll have to say, I don't believe I'll get back. We did all the work we did. It looked real well. We went by the rec park and talked to those folks and went over and talked to the chief, fire chief, and of course, he's always glad to see. And he didn't ask me for a thing when I was there, but he showed us the piece of property we talked about
Yeah,
and all of that. And, they've got a new used truck, which is, he was real proud of. We talked to a couple of constituents that had called each of us differently about 64, some of the problems, especially they're having up there at that
Traffic.
intersection. And, went by the Chamber of Commerce. So I think it was I thought it was good for us and good for y'all, and good for our commissioners to, show our face to see if they, especially when we don't have to. Good.
yes. No,
That's very good.
Thank
Commissioner Luker?
No report, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
All right, we'll move on to our county manager, Mr. Adams.
No report today, sir.
Okay. Informal comments by the public. I don't think we have anyone signed up. Do we?
We don't.
I'm not gonna take.
All right, next would be item 2, which is the Blue Ridge School CDBG water and sewer. A couple of items under this. I recognize Mr. Adams to give us an update.
Yes, sir. You'll just scroll down just a little bit. So they can see.
You're right.
A couple of notes, you'll see that there's 2 items, one is the schedule, that's what I'm gonna talk to the board about today on your agenda. The second item is notice of award and construction contract. That is not something that we'll be asking the board to take action on tonight, because when you see the schedule, we're not opening bids until November 5th. But you also can see on our agenda, we are gonna be requesting that this board recess this meeting again, like we did before, to next Tuesday at 12:55. 2 reasons why we're gonna ask you to recess prior to your work session meeting next Tuesday. One is I will be able to present the bids to you, and hopefully they will be within budget, and you will be able to do the notice of award and things of that nature. 2 is, and you'll see also later on the agenda that Ms. Taylor will be back in front of you about the public transportation program. And if you recall, because of now rules, you can't adopt something or pass something right after a public hearing at the same meeting. So this issue will also have to be taken back up at the recess. So having said that, I'll go over just real quick the schedule that you see in front of you. You can see we advertise for bids. Just a reminder for everybody, this is a project for the water and sewer for the Blue Ridge School. This is put a water pump there, and then also to replace the 10,000 gallon a day treatment plant that serves that school. We have had an advertisement for bids. We did have a pre-bid meeting out on site on October 21st. We are due to receive bids November 5th, and then November 10th is when I'll bring those bids, the bid tabulation back to this board for you to make a decision. Again, hopefully it'll be within our $1 million budget. And just a reminder, we have a grant from CDBG funds to help pay for this. And then you can see the remainder is we have the contract to return the bonds and other things for final execution of the contract. What I will request, if everything falls within budget, is for this board to not only award the contract, but to authorize the chairman to sign off on the construction contracts with approval of the county attorney. And the reason being is that we're just trying to move forward, get the bonds in and get this project started. You can see pre-construction conference is scheduled to start December 10th, with the notice to proceed to start December 11th, and we're looking for construction to be completed June 15th, with final inspection to take place July 9th. And everything that we've been doing in concert with school staff, Jake Buchanan, and Jason has been involved in that, so hopefully the bids will come in within budget, and we can move forward.
Any questions for Mr. Adams concerning this schedule? So we'll have way more information on it next week.
I just have one question with this, wastewater system at Blue Ridge. Will any private entities be able to hook on to that? Or is it just for the school?
It's for the school.
Okay,
And within the CDBG programming and rules, right now, it's for the school.
Okay.
And it's never intended for private.
thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, if not, then, like I said, this will be an item we'll take up next week at our reconvene meeting, and go forward with it there. Next is item 3, the offers to purchase and contract, from Howe, and these are resolutions, R 20-21, 20-22, and 20-23, and I'll recognize Ms. Baker to talk about, each of these 3.
Yes, so this first item is, these first 3 items are 3 contracts. I'm gonna scroll down where you can see for 3 different lots, and based on, where you guided us before, they did do 3 separate contracts. Here are the 3 lots highlighted. You've got that with the total cost the county has in this. And on these three lots, I only highlighted the first one, but it's these 3 here where the cursor is, they join each other. And then I'll show you, how about here in your packet 2. Here are the 3 lots. And then over here is Holy Mountain Road. You can see Holy Mountain Road, so you can get an idea of where it is. It's the same place that the last couple have come from. And all of these offers are for the amount of cost the county has in it, even though we've owned these, one, I think we've owned a little over 3 years, and the others we've owned 2 years. And we have Mr. Howe, who's made the offer, as well as Mr. Hartley, who you approved an offer for a few weeks ago. They're friends, and Mr. Hartley kind of helped Mr. Howe with the process, so they're both on tonight if you have any questions for them. But either the offers are asking for approval, they understand it will go through the upset bid process, and we'll send a letter to the joiners as we always do.
So just to restate that, if this board chooses to take action tonight, we would be accepting these offers and starting the upbid process, and we would then come back and approve them at a later date.
Well, disapprove them unless there's an upset bid.
Correct.
If there's any upset bid, I'll bring that back.
Do you need a motion for each one individually?
Yes, that'd probably be best to
Okay.
do it that way.
I make a motion to approve resolution R 20-21.
Okay, have a motion, is there a second?
Second,
Second.
All right, any question or discussion? Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Mao,
Yes.
Commissioner Luker,
Yes, ma'am.
yes.
Commissioner Deeds, Chairman McNamee.
Yes, motion carries.
Make a motion to approve resolution R 20-22.
All right, is there a second?
Second,
Second.
All right, any question or discussion? Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Deeds.
Yes.
Commissioner Woody,
yes.
Commissioner Luker,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Mao,
Yes.
Chairman McNamee.
Yes, motion carries.
Make a motion to approve resolution R 20-23.
Is there a second?
Second,
Second.
All right, any question or discussion?
You let him say.
Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Mao,
Yes.
Commissioner Luker,
Yes, ma'am.
yes.
Commissioner Deeds, Chairman McNamee.
Yes, motion carries. Okay. Next is item 4, offer to purchase and contract from Woodman. This is resolution R 20-24.
This again is an offer to purchase one of the lots. We've had this one almost 4 years. It's an offer letter, and you can see in the offer letter where they pointed out there are some trees on the property line on the road. This one, the offer for 2,000 is a little less than what the total cost the county has in it, but we have owned it for a while. Here is the lot that's for sale. The Woodmans live here. This is their home, and they're trying to get septic. I'm pretty sure, he told me at one point, I don't recall that specifically, I'm pretty sure they're trying to expand, and they need additional septic, and they could not do it on their lot, and they became aware that the county owned this lot next door, and they contacted us about trying to do it. According to them, it's not a buildable lot, that's why we've owned it for so long, and it has some other issues on it, but apparently it will work for septic for him. They had that checked out, so that is why they're interested in doing that. I know it's near the lake, and so I thought you might be interested to also see the plat. I don't know if that has lake access. I thought it might tell us on the plat, but it doesn't. We have to probably dig into restricted covenants to see.
But he's gonna pay us what we got in it.
He's offered 2,000 of the amount, and per our policy, since we've owned it for more than a year, he can make any offer. Because if it's within that year, I won't even bring it to you unless it's the full amount of cost. But we have owned it almost 4 years, so he's made the offer for 2,000. It will go through the upset bid process, and and of course, we will also send a letter to adjoining owners, although he's one of those.
Is there any desire to take action on this item?
What do we have in it again? 50?
Yeah. 58,
Yeah,
55.7.
55.97. We could table it and at least check the access too. I don't know.
Well, we'd have to do full title search,
Oh,
so
okay.
that would, take some time and, involve us. I could look at the covenants and to see, I know, of course, this went through the original sale, the original tax foreclosure sale, no one bid on it. And I send this list out on quite a regular basis to people who check the lots. And with it being that close to the lake, I feel pretty good. If it had lake access or was desirable, it would have sold a long time ago, especially at the 5,500 is the cost we had in it.
What is the reason it's not buildable, do you know?
I don't know. I don't
Is it
know.
steep?
He said there's no view from it. That is one thing. It may have been an email to me that he said it had no view, so I don't know.
So is the assessment correct? I know I was just looking, making sure that's what it was, that according to that spreadsheet there, we got it assessed at $75,000.
Of course, if you look at the assessment on a lot of the lots, even the ones previously, it's usually a lot higher than, because the original sales on them are higher,
But that's what the current tax value is on that
yes.
parcel, 75,000.
So he would be paying taxes based on that.
Well, maybe,
Assessed.
maybe.
So we got it 4 years?
Almost 4, it'll be 4 in February.
My sense is to go ahead and, if we've had it that long and nobody,
Just go ahead and get it to them.
well,
Get it on the tax rolls.
that's what I was saying. I mean, my thought is,
Put a motion out there and then we can debate it.
Yeah.
I move that we accept his offer.
That would
Second.
be to adopt the resolution.
Yeah. So a motion to adopt
Oh, I'm sorry.
resolution R 20-24, and it has a second. Now, any questions or discussion?
Well, my question would be that, if it's been, like Ms. Baker said, if it's been available for 4 years in our current climate, if it had any kind of possibility for building, I think it would have been taken. So I'm thinking that maybe if it's used for that purpose of the sewer system.
Well, it's worth more to him than anyone else.
Yes, it is.
He's already said it is. He said he needs it,
Yes.
because you don't have your sewer anywhere.
Yeah.
But then he's almost $3,900 less what we asked for, and all of these towns see it needs it for sewer.
And that property, they have perk tested it.
Mountain Soils is the company he's hired to look into it, and they've given him a verbal that it will work. They had a delay, he said, in getting someone else to, to really do that, but from what he's been told from Mountain Soils, it will work for what they need. It may not work for a full house, but in addition to what he needs, it'll work.
If the board doesn't want to proceed forward with this offer, there's nothing that says you can't counter and say you would take what you have into it.
What if we make?
I had $2,000.
Yeah, I mean, that's,
How much acreage is
It doesn't, oh, it says 0.5 acres,
Are you on the?
approximately 0.5 acres, block ED. So
how will this, purchase affect the tax value?
Well, they usually discard discounted sales, and so they would know the amount and take that into consideration, but it's not the only thing that they look at in determining value.
It's not gonna probably 75,000,
No.
and it's not gonna be 2,000.
Correct.
Yeah, whoever ends
I
up
don't have a problem though asking to see if they'd be interested in paying what we haven't had.
I like, yeah,
I agree.
So if that's the case, then we have a motion to approve the current offer. Would you withdraw your motion?
I withdraw the motion.
All right, well, let's just go back to the drawing board. All right, next is item 5. This is the EDA deed of trust authorization.
Yes, you may remember in 2018, I believe it was, that we were approved for the EDA grant on the new health sciences building at Southwest Community College for a little over $2 million. We are just now to the point in that building process where we're going to need to start drawing on that EDA fund. And so it's time to record the documents that will secure their interest, even though it's a grant. In case anything goes wrong, they do secure their interest in the property. So there are 2 documents here. The first is the deed of trust. And then I'll get on down to the second document is the intercreditor agreement. And the intercreditor agreement is between EDA, Sterling Bank, who is the primary lender on the building, for the loan, and the county. And it says that they are in a shared first lien position. If the bank obviously wants to be in a first position, the EDA also wants to be in a first position. So they do this intercreditor agreement between them and allows both of them to be in a shared first lien position. But fortunately, there's plenty of equity in the building, so that was, they were both agreeable to this from the beginning. And it's just now formalizing the original agreement. And they did want something in the minutes stating that you're approving this and authorizing the chairman to sign these documents.
Do we need to approve the deed of trust and the intercreditor agreement?
Make that together.
Okay. All right, is there a motion to approve these 2 documents? Is there a second?
Second.
Any question or discussion? Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Deeds?
Yes.
Commissioner Woody?
Yes,
Commissioner Luker?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Mount?
Yes.
Chairman McNamee?
Yes, motion carries. Next is our legislation. Item 6 is a resolution R20-20. This would be the Cassius Glenville Volunteer Fire Department resolution.
Yes, this is the same as you saw at the work session. That you saw this, the fire department needs this to be able to move forward with their loan to purchase the property that Commissioner Deeds and Commissioner Woody talked about earlier, and to purchase the fire truck that are both in here. It's really a formality to get our approval to do this, but they need it, so it's here. They did have their public hearing. It was held on October 23rd at 2 o'clock.
Is there a motion to approve this resolution?
Move to approve resolution R 20-20.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any question or discussion? Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Mount,
Yes.
Commissioner Luker,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Woody,
Yes.
Commissioner Dees,
Yes.
Chairman Knight.
Yes, motion carries. And next is item 7, the Public Transportation Program Resolution R 20-25. Ms. Taylor, do you have any additional information that you'd like to present?
Like I said, these are for fiscal year 2022. And on the 5310, the Elderly and Disabled Grant Program, the total amount is $87,500, which the local match is 50% of that, $47,750. And we typically use contract service money like from Medicaid contracts or boat rehab to cover that match. On the 5311 program grant, the total amount is $192,747. That grant is 80% federal funding, 5% state, and 15% local. However, I have been told that there's possibility the state will not be able to provide their typical 5% match. And if they, at a later time, say they're not going to be able to match that, I'll need to come back before the board and ask if the board would do a 20% match instead of the 15%. And I would like to have both of these items included in next week's reconvened meeting to be voted on. And they do need to be voted on separately because they are separate grants.
Okay. Any questions for Ms. Taylor while she's with us?
Right, go ahead.
All right, Commissioner Woody, go ahead.
Okay. I just wondered if the states, does that money come from DOT? Is that the reason why, because of the shortfall of the DOT
Yes.
statewide? Okay.
Commissioner Matt?
My question is very technical. That is on the Public Transportation Program Resolution for this document. This is R 20-20 instead of R 20-25, so I guess we probably need to fix that.
Yeah, that was me.
Okay.
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 All right, Commissioner Dees?
So now, there was extra 5, 6 people come back and ask us for.
If they tell me
How
that
about you
there's,
school down Raleigh and ask them for?
well, they won't give it to me.
They
I've
won't.
already told them.
If you know, we will.
They have,
Hopefully you will. And the next time you pick somebody up walking alongside the road, give them our telephone number.
I will.
Yeah, tell them to call us.
Any other questions for Ms. Taylor?
He may walk the other way.
Yeah, well, like it's been stated, we will take this item up at our reconvened meeting on November 10th at 12:55. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is our appointments. Item 8, Planning Council. Commissioner Luker, do you have a name that you want to put forward?
Mr. Chairman, I do, sir.
Okay,
Mr. Stuckey, that was on our list and has finished the background check and everything and has showed a desire and interest to be on that board. So I nominate Mr. Stuckey.
He's somebody who had applied.
He lied. He
Yeah.
did lie.
yeah. Okay. All right, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any question or discussion? All right, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Dees,
Yes.
Commissioner Woody,
yes.
Commissioner Luker,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Mount,
Yes.
Chairman Knight.
Yes, motion carries. And I don't have a name yet, so I'll carry my appointment over. Next is Planning Board, item 9. Commissioner Dees, do you have a name?
No.
Okay, we'll carry that one over as well. Press conference, let's see, who do we have on?
That, I believe, is the only one.
Looks like Beth is the only one. Beth with the Silver Herald, I'll give you a chance to unmute.
No questions.
No questions. Okay, well, have a nice evening. Here again, we don't want to close this meeting out. There is no closed session, so I have a motion that we just recess until November the 10th at 12:55.
So moved.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Aye.
Have a good evening.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You